last project we had to do something that related to what you want to do after high school, and so I made a prom dress. And since then I've just realized that that's exactly what I like to do. I like that it's a creative industry. I like being creative. I always knew that I wanted to be some kind of artist and be a designer of some sort, and I just like that I can make clothes, and it's so nice when you think of a design or something and then you make it and then you can see it, it's right there in front of you. Pretty much just kind of learning how to do certain things, like when I did lingerie for the first time, having to figure out how to get the fit right and how to make like bra cups and everything. I've never done that before, so pretty much just doing anything for the first time is the most challenging thing, and then once you get it, then it's easier to go on from there. Well, I decided that I wanted to go to school for it, so I originally wanted to go to the Academy of Art, which is an art school in San Francisco, and I was getting ready to set and go, but last minute I got a phone call from a school here. It's called International Academy of Design. It's in Tukwila, and so last minute I decided to go there instead, since it was closer to home and I wouldn't have to move and everything, so I went there. Well, currently I work for a swimsuit company as one of their designers, and I've done things on the side, like I did an internship for the Children's Theater in Mercer Island, and so right now, yeah, I'm just doing the swimsuits for the company and kind of just trying to start my own line on the side. It's actually a lot longer than one would expect. It starts off with, once you kind of have an idea of what you want to do and you decide who you want to design for and kind of the product you want to make, you then do a lot of research. A lot of research goes into it, like you research certain trends, like what, and you have to, not only is it trends of what's happening now, but you have to research like a year in advance, because by the time you have your products made, it's all like way down the line, so you have to research in the future, which is a weird concept because it's not out yet, but you have to research that. Trend is kind of like basically what a lot of designers, like if you look at runway shows and what's out like in magazines and whatnot, like you see certain things that come up more than once, like a certain trend, like a color might be on trend for a season, like teal is really big right now, or it could also be something like silhouette, like it could be an hourglass figure, or it can be like dropped waistline, something like that, and if you see it a bunch of times in different runway shows and magazines and all that, and you would know that that's a trend, and you kind of want to pursue that trend. Otherwise, because if you're going against the trend, I mean, sure, you might have a target customer, but you won't sell as much as if you're on trend. So it's really important to be on trend. So after trend, once you do your trend research, then you have to source your fabrics. You got to figure out all the materials you're going to use, and then once you have that all figured out, you have your collection, you make your collection, you know, you design it, and what I usually do is I design a bunch of little things, and then I figure out what I like the most, and that's my collection. And then once you're done with that, then you get your fabric, you get your materials, and then you make it. And so it goes from just an idea to sketches to the finished product. My most favorite one I've made is what I call my mermaid dress. It's a dress that I actually made pretty early on in my school career, and it has like it has a train and everything, and it's a long skirt, and then it's a corset that I made. And it was the first time that I ever made a corset, and it has like pleats on the side, and it just kind of resembles a little bit of a mermaid look, and to this day that's still one of my favorite looks. Yes, for in the senior year you have one of the last things you take is a design studio class, which you make a final collection, and then once you're done with that, you also have a portfolio class, and you make, it's like an entire book of all your best work, and it just showcases all that you've done, all that you've made, designed, anything, sketches, all that. Well, hopefully I'll be a famous designer and I want to not only have like a women's like day wear and evening wear, but I also want to do lingerie. That's something that I've recently really got into, and so I want to have like multiple lines that I make per season, and work. I want to be my own boss eventually. That's where I want to be in 5 years.